So hello everybody, welcome back. So I have seen that the shopping list is very popular topic in the channel. Um, you know, and I have decided to talk to you about several things that you might be missing in my channel. And it is because, my channel is, I think, kind of weird because it's a teaching channel, but at the same time it's a prepping channel, and then at the same time is a homesteader channel, and at the same time is a parent channel, and oh my god, so oh yeah. So to make this video, I had to go through the 724 videos that I currently have in the channel. So you can imagine that, oh yeah, it's a lot of information. So, if you wanted to get a list, like a basic list of 101 items that you might want to get, then, you might be able to get better choices from other channels. And the reason for that is because other channels might have access to a lot of other brands that I do not have. And other channels might have access to, other situations which, I think that they might be different from mine, And so I have compiled a lot of information for this video because I wanted to explain to you several reasons, as in, the thought process about, shopping and why it might work or it may not work the way that you are approaching it right now. So, grab your coffee and definitely, most certainly grab a lot of pens because you might need a lot of colored pens because you might need to differentiate a lot of things in terms of your shopping list. Because the situation about shopping is that depends upon money. So money is limited, even for rich people, so that one might be an issue. And then the second part about shopping is that shopping per se, the process, will change in hard times. See, right now you might be able to get a lot of things online, and you also might get a lot of things, delivered, especially if you are in the US. But during hard times, those things are not going to be, something that you can do easily. Like you click, you get, that's it. Oh, that's not going to happen because there will be credit cards. Very likely they just won't be credit cards. And even if they are going to be severely limited due to a lot of things that I have mentioned on the channel, including but not limited to your footprint or tax print and on the thing for the CO2 thing or whatever it is. And so even if you have the money available, you will not be able to buy anything unless you get it cash. And for that, you need to visit certain stores and things like that, which limits your choices and limits a lot of things. And you might be competing for the very few things that are available. Because now that people understand priorities and they are getting things straight, you are going to see how, romantic ideas you have about hard times, and they are not so romantic. You are going to go from the honeymoon phase to I want a divorce phase kind of thing. So, having said all of that, then if you wanted to share a coffee with me or help me out with an Amazon gift card so that I can get more books and I can do more research and things like that, or help me out, there are links for that down below. And I did write a book about shopping, very specific. In fact, it is one of my longest books. In the beginning, I had a draft for doing trading and shopping at the same time. And so I have explained that the people that got the first 4 books that were sold, they got half of the book on trading that I am doing. I'm currently finishing the other half. And so I had to separate it again, and then now you're getting the actual 101 items and categories, and each category will have an explanation. Each thing will have kind of like, beware of this, don't make this mistake, you are miscalculating this, or you are over calculating that one, based upon pricing, and based upon importance, and based upon the probability of you facing an emergency in which you are going to have to decide, and it's a do or die kind of thing. And in this point, if you don't have certain items like firefighter items, like the balls that you can just throw at a fire or something like that, you might lose everything. So there are things that are more important, so I explained all of these things in that particular book. So anyway, all of my books, links for that down below. And here we go for the actual explanation for this video. So I told you, my channel is filled with all kinds of information. You may think that because I'm a teacher, I'm always explaining things. Yes, I am. But, and you might think that it's weird, and yes, you're right. But the whole point about making this reproduction list and organization is this one. So I'm going to go up with this one. Wait me a minute. Okay, so here we go. The shopping list that you want to make, so that you can, set up your own priorities and set up your own things. They should be based upon your current situation. So let me explain this. If you are single, your shopping list will not be the same as you being a mother who is single but has 3 kids, because your needs are not going to be the same. Let's say that you are single and you are a guy, but you're responsible for your father, who happens to have Alzheimer's and all kinds of things, and he lives in a geriatric facility. So your shopping list should include a lot of things for your dad and a lot of things for yourself, and then it should also include a lot of things for trading, because if there are women around that need your help but they are single, very likely they are not going to take a guy inside their home, because in hard times that is something that you do not do, not even with technicians. So you might find yourself in a position in which you are not going to be able to trade the way that you think you will be trading. And if you're thinking that you are a prepper and then I can trade for food or whatever with other people, I'm telling you that you are not because you can't, but because you are thinking entirely wrong about it. So let me explain this one. There are 2 types of people. I have explained this in all the videos, and I even created a Telegram group in which I go into detail about this thing. But you have 2 types of group, the preppers and the non-preppers, right? So preppers are, let's say that there is a great down scenario. So preppers are armed to the teeth, very likely. And you are a non-prepper and you have items that you want to trade for food or for whatever. But here's the deal. You approach the house of a prepper and they don't know you. They think that you might be, looking into how much things they have, and they do not want to share any kind of information with you. And they trading with you about anything will give up information that they do not want to give you out. So how do you think trading is going to happen when one of the parties is completely mistrusting of the other one, and the other one, meaning the one that is non-preppers, is probably thinking sort of like, I'm entitled to some help and nobody is helping me. and I have things to trade, but nobody wants to trade with me. So what do you think is going to happen? It's a disaster, and it's not happening because you're going to be met with a lot of bullets if you try. Or people will just close the door in your face because nobody likes you, or nobody, likes you not because it's you, but nobody likes you because you are probably in a territory that is not yours, and you're probably wearing clothing that is not cool, and nobody likes you because it means that you can be somebody who is just marking territory so that they can ambush you and stuff like that. Meaning your presence around other people might be an issue in terms of security, which means you are not trading. Unless you go to a specific place like a mall or something like that, and even then you will still have other issues related to trading also. Which is why, you need to think differently in all of these things. And so your shopping list should include a lot of things that are meant to cover a lot of situations. Sorry, I get interrupted all the time. So anyway, it's very important that you organize your house before you go shopping. Why? Well, let's see. You probably have a lot of stuff in your house that you already have, and yet you are buying again because you forgot you had them. Or you are lacking several things because you think that you have them and yet you don't. And so before you go shopping, I highly, highly, highly recommend that you sit down with your family, talk a little bit about what you want to do, meaning getting rid of all of the things in your house that do not work for you. As in, you are not skiing anymore, so maybe you do not need the skis. You are not skating anymore, so maybe you do not need the skates. Maybe you are size 4 and you have clothing that is size 0. So what is it? So you have clothing that is no longer working. You have a lot of things that are occupying space. They are also probably making your house feel heavy, and a lot of other issues. And you also may need to understand that you might need a little bit of organizers. So if you have a lot of cups, you might need cups organizers. If you have, a lot of clothing, you might need clothing organizers. If you have, shoes, you might need shoes organizers. So all these things are important because it will help you, categorize things, within what they meant to be and where they are meant to be. You might also be able to do a shopping list based upon your organizational needs. So, determine the space that you have for each one of the items that you're going to get. I have mentioned these before. You want a measuring tape so that when you buy stuff, you don't buy it too big or too small, depending upon the size of the things that you're going to get it. So it's quite important that you measure things. After you have measured things, after you have gotten rid of a lot of things that you do not need, either you sell them or you donate them into a thrift store or something like that, or you trade them, or you just give them away, or whatever it is, make sure that you have plenty of new space. Make sure that the space is clean and is already organized. Make sure that you have a lot of labels so that you can organize the things by category. Then, this is the several of the lists that I think that you might find helpful, because you need to understand how things are going to be. Because if you're doing a shopping list based upon everything working, so for example, you buy a lot of devices, but they all work with internet, and there is no internet. So basically, whatever you bought is worthless because there is no internet. So you can't even turn them on, or they won't work. So for example, you buy a printer, and the printer works with Wi-Fi. So You need to print something, but there is no internet. How are you going to print it if the thing cannot get the file to the computer because there is no Wi-Fi? So you need a cable. Did you buy the cable? Can the device work with the cable? You know? And at this point you might be thinking, no, I did not get the cable, but maybe it's in the box. All right. So do you have the box? Do you have the warranty papers at hand? Do you have the description of the cable that you need? All of these things, will be an issue because now you gotta find that cable. You know what I mean? So I have different reproduction lists in which I'm explaining a lot of things that are related to this. Because if you overbuy stuff, then you are probably placing money in those stuff, money that you need for actually other stuff like the cable for your printer. Because it won't work because there is no Wi-Fi. Yeah, kind of like that. So, having said that, so I have a reproduction list on water. That one is, by the way, I'm linking all of these reproduction lists so that you can understand the thought process of what is happening so that you can change your shopping list or adapt your shopping list to that particular situation. So I have a reproduction list on water in which I explain the different types of water tanks, water pumps, the whole situation with the connections, the whole situation with the electricity and the water pumps, the electricity and the you getting water, you not getting water, you getting the proper filters, you getting the whole thing. I mean, all of that is in the water reproduction list. The reproduction list on water is not listed because, it's the main reproduction list in the channel. So, it will be there if you wanted to take a look at that. Then there is, I'm going now by order. Then there is a first aid reproduction list. This one will explain a lot of things that you might be missing in your first aid and stuff that you want to buy. Then there is a book that you really, really, really want to get. And this one is on education for your kids. And the reason for this one, quite frankly, if you do not get that one and you have kids and you have teens or you have kids in the group or whatever, even adults that seem to just be in the mentality of I don't do dishes because I'm a man, or I have no idea how to use a broom, or things like that. Oh yeah, you need this book. This is the only book that I have seen that it actually tells you right away that this is quite important. Because through our hard times, if you are the mother, you need your kids to help you. And regardless of the age, even kids who are 5 are willing to help you out. They can sometimes help you a lot. And I even have a book about what a 6-year-old can do or should be able to do. At least the very basics. But this one is very, very specific about, experiences from all over the place in terms of kids who are responsible. Because you can do all the shopping that you want. But if you are the only one who knows how to do the dishes, if you are the only one who knows where things are, if you are the only one who can clean, you have a bigger problem. Because I told you, money is a thing to take care of expenses. It's not meant to take care of problems. Problems are meant to be solved by your mind and your interactions with other people. So get this book. By the way, this one is not mine. But I do have other books that are related to this in my page. So anyway, then there is a series on tools. In these tools, I will be explaining a lot of things related to buying tools and several tools that you might want to take a look at and things like that. This one, this video, that says medical items to get. I'm sorry, I needed a second. I just this one was before my neighbor died. This one was when we had to rush him to the hospital, or when we had to rush him to get a nurse into his house. This one is for, this one is quite emotional. And quite frankly, I thought that I had a lot of things, but I miscalculated a lot. And also, I did not think about getting a lot of things that even, I even got the book about, the doctor where there is no doctor, the one that a lot of prepper channels recommended, that costs about $40 or something like that. I even got that book, and in that book, there are things that are missing. And this video will tell you a lot, and it will be emotional, so anyway. Then I have a personal shopping preferences book, series, or reproduction list, which is here. Then I have a list in which, basically the first reproduction list that I started in the channel was about EDCs. And the second one was water, and the third one was shopping. I'm sorry, I keep getting interrupted. Breathe. So as I was saying to you, the first list that I made was about EDC because that is my main passion. And then the second thing was water, because I think that one has a lot of misconceptions, and in fact it was called Misconceptions about water. And then I created a shopping list because shopping is going to change how you do things entirely. As in, you go to the supermarket and now you have to watch out for a lot of things that you did not have to watch out before. Because of pricing, because of our shortages, and because of fuel issues, and because of you sharing the car with somebody else, and because of so many other stuff related to shopping. This shopping list, I haven't updated them in a while because they do not seem to be popular, even though that I thought that they would be, considering the fact that shopping is the main thing that you will be doing. Shopping, looking for water, and standing in line. Those will be the three main things that you will be doing no matter what. And that's why you need help, and that's why you need teamwork, and that's why you need your family to get involved. And if you are single, I also have a single, how to prep and stuff like that when you are single. And anyway, so from the shopping series, I have, my personal preferences. This one is about brands and stuff that I like. This one is shopping mistakes and miscalculations that you are probably making. Protocol for shoppings, as in things that you really, really, really want to get straight right now before shortages and people asking for your fingertip so that you can buy and stuff like that. Oh my God, that one is insane. So that one is quite important to get it right, especially because you will need the involvement on your family. Then I have a reproduction list on shoes, in which I have an actual list about all the things that you need to buy for your feet and your shoes. Because a lot of people go, yeah, I'm buying a lot of food. Yeah, how are you going to walk without shoes? And exactly how are you going to run without shoes? And exactly how are you going to take care of your shoes if your feet are hurting or they are filled with blisters and all kinds of things? Because if you cannot afford food, do you think that you're going to be able to afford shoes? Or do you think that during hard times, shoes are just going to, be there for people who have very weird sizes, or sizes that are half, and stuff like that? So this one is quite important to get right. Then I have a reproduction list on trading. I have one video in a specific that is from the EDC, in which I am explaining the current things that people have in their EDCs and how it's going to change during hard times, and why you want to get some of those items and why you don't want to get those items and things like that. And then I also have a series about a specific data that you need to take into consideration when you are getting products that are expensive, like blenders, cell phones, refrigerators, computers, stuff like that. Because if you get it wrong during hard times, I mean, come on, a blender is what, $80 or $140 or something like that? Is quite expensive. So if you get it wrong, you might need to replace that one. And I don't know about you, but paying at $70 or $100 for a blender, right now when it is good times, that one is still expensive. If you get it wrong, you might be screwed. And you might need to pay during hard times for a new blender. And that new blender might cost you $400. And a blender is something that you're going to need all the time. So, and the list on products, you can see each product. If you do not want to see it, that's fine. But at least, you should know that the information is there, so that you understand what will happen to these kind of things, because they are expensive kind of shopping. Then I have a dating kits video. I have two, actually, part 1 and part 2. This one is quite important to understand, because if you are a woman or if you are a man and you are dating or you are outside during good times, this is not even on Amazon. I mean, this is something that is being taught to everyone who is 16 or more. You don't get out of your house if you are dating. You do not get out without certain things that are important for your safety. And you need to understand that, if you get out, you need cash in case that you need to go back in an Uber or a taxi or whatever. You need to have a procedure. You need to have emergency items in your dating kit. You want to have a lot of things that are related to this kind of thing, because it is a social activity and you will be doing it if you are single. And if you are not single, but you have, a wife or a husband, then I have to ask, do you have enough birth control? Because you will be continuing having sex during hard times, especially during hard times. And I have a question: do you want a baby? Because you will be making one way or another one. Because there won't be condoms. And there won't be birth control pills. I mean, I have seen teens change birth controls, like, every 6 months they change the birth control pill because you can't find the same brand. So it's going to mess up with your hormones. It's going to mess up a lot of things. And, it's a whole issue in terms of how you are going to spend shopping and how you're going to have to prepare for that one. Because you will need to be aware of condoms and other things that you might need to take into consideration. Because, for example, if you get pregnant, or you are thinking that you might be pregnant, you need to take vitamins, prenatal vitamins, before you even think about getting pregnant. So you're pregnant and you're 3 months pregnant and now you're taking the vitamins? Yeah, that's not when you take it. You take them like 6 months before you get pregnant. Because your body needs to adapt to the vitamins and things like that. So there are a lot of things that are considered when you have a couple and when you are over, your sexual reproductive age. And if you are taking hormones, you need to understand this one clearly. If you are taking any kind of hormones during hard times, you are not getting that. I'm going to repeat that. If you or somebody that you know requires hormones, you are not getting that. Because if you cannot find birth control pills, what makes you think that you will find hormones? So, there is a whole issue with that one. And I have a list also about hospitals and what you will not find in them if you need to go in there. So if you need to go to a hospital for an emergency or for whatever, you will need to trade, very likely, And you will also need to take care of a lot of things when you get to the hospital. Oh, and you should know that if you are in the UK or in the United States, hospitals will be doing a lot of remodeling. Here is why. Because emergency hospitals will be so broke that they will actually shut down entire areas so that they are not considered emergency hospitals anymore. This means that if you think that you are living near a hospital that will take emergencies, no, they won't. Because as soon as hyperinflation starts, a lot of things will change in terms of people not paying the electrical bill on time. And so it's not just you getting, no electricity. It's just that now, because electricity is important and water is important, a lot of these things are important, people will ask the government to help. And so the government will regulate how much money the companies can charge. And as soon as the government says, you are allowed to charge $1 per watt, or whatever it is, yeah, at that point, a lot of companies will just go broke. And so they will not do maintenance. And that means that your service is going to be basically like Venezuelans or Sri Lankans or other countries. You're probably getting, 6 hours a day electricity, and then that's it. You're not getting any more. And that is if you're lucky. And if you're very lucky, you might have, electricity, but you never know when the power outage might be. And for all I know, you might have issues like the entire blocks will be going off grid because there is a problem with the transformers or the circuits or whatever. And none of these things are going to be able to be replaced because they require money. And the company is not making money because the government regulated the price on the service, because nobody can afford the service. And so if you cannot afford food, and you cannot afford electricity, and you cannot afford water, and then you have to beg the government to regulate all these things, I have a question. What makes you think that you are going to be able to afford services that are going to be considered VIP, like data services in your cell phone, or internet services, or cable services, or satellite internet kind of cable thing, because there are areas that just don't get electricity from towers and stuff. So all of these things will affect your shopping, because most people think, yeah, I'm just going to buy a lot of food. Yeah, but what are you going to do about cleaning and the bathroom and stuff that is also cleaning? You need cleaning supplies, you need cleaning things, you need the most important part. Quite frankly, if you need to choose only 2 things because you live paycheck to paycheck and you have no money whatsoever, start here with the educational book. Because if you live paycheck to paycheck, or you have no money, or your money is severely limited, then you call reinforcement. And reinforcements means your emotional connections to the people that matter the most, meaning your kids. And you get them on board, because if they don't get on board with you, they will keep asking for the next best thing, the most expensive cell phone. They will keep asking for more and more, and you will go crazy doing more and more. And there will be a point in which now you are spending all the money that you do not have in pills for anxiety, depression, sleeping, and God knows what else. So start with the basic. This book is not even $20. And it's the best thing that you can get. And it's not mine. It's from a woman, by the way. And it's a Christian book. So you can imagine that is good. Not because it is Christian, but because it highlights the importance of proper teamwork, which is something that sucks right now in all society. Because kids think that they deserve the best. By the way, they do. But they do nothing to deserve it. And not only that, but, they will beg you or they will pressure you to keep up with the neighbors. The problem is that you can't keep up with the neighbors because, the neighbors may be a couple and you may be single. Also, the neighbors might have more, money or stuff than you are or you do. The problem is that your teen is having all kinds of issues, and so this will help them understand that life is life. And life has rules. And in these rules, you need to be responsible. And a lot of things. And after you have taken care of that, I can assure you that, you can sell all the things that you do not need. You can even watch my video on how I'm handling the fact that I don't have income and stuff like that. That one is quite emotional. I'm still going through that one, so I don't know how I'm going to fix that one entirely, but I'm working on it. And what you need to understand is that buying stuff is only to make you feel better, but it won't actually do a thing for you if you do not fix the real problems. And the real problems are, you need your family to get on board. You also need agendas. So I suggest the car agenda, because cars are the most important thing in your life right now. Because without a car, you cannot go to a job, you cannot do a lot of things, you cannot evacuate if you need to. And cars are going to be one of those things that is going to be such a drama. My God, it's insane. The amount of drama that you will get in terms of cars, because they will have a lot of things stolen. You need to secure it. You need to do a lot of stuff related to the car. If you want to have a shopping list for the car, it is on the agenda that I have. If not, then get it yourself or do it yourself, because I told you, anyone can do their own research and stuff like that. But if you want the info, as in, should I get this or should I get that, or is this a good thing or is it a bad thing or whatever, And if you have something in particular that you are kind of like, yeah, everybody keeps telling me about this one, should I, do this or that, then, maybe you can place a comment on the video, and then I will try to either tell you whether I have it or not. Because a lot of people keep asking me about how to do trading, and then I'm like, I already have a lot of information on trading on the reproduction list. And I also had 3 months of classes that were related to trading for the Telegram group, which I created. But that one did not go as planned, because, as you know, I'm popular, but apparently I have like blockages of some sort or whatever, so I did not reach as many people as I wanted to reach. So I am thinking that I can release part of this information, but I'm not going to do it until I get 1,000 subscribers. Because I don't want to do it all over again while I keep losing the subscribers, because then I have other things that are important for the people that are subscribers, and I think that this shopping list is more important. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you think that trading is important, so I already made 2 videos that are special for trading, and there was one that was for bathrooms, and for those 2 videos I actually asked subscribers to please send me a private email, and people, I was sort of like, I need your help, so please send me pictures of the items so that I can do this video. And I did get pictures and stuff, and that's why I was able to create those 2 videos. One was about kitchen items, and the other one was about bathrooms items. So I think that I have covered a lot. and I can cover more, but I will do it when I get 1,000 subscribers, which is going to be very soon, by the way. So anyway, I hope that this information is helpful. And if you have any particular reproduction list that you want me to continue, or if you have questions after you have seen the reproduction list, you have questions or ideas or something, you can also place comments in the comment sections. Oh, and I have a lot of food information on the food reproduction list, which is the most popular list of all the reproduction lists that I have. So that's why I don't even mention it, because I think that if you got to my channel, you probably got here because of the food reproduction list. You know? Because a lot of people are sort of like, what do you buy for food and how do you handle that? Well, there are over, I think, right now I'm like 40 videos about food. And all of the things that you are going to need to consider. And I talk about all the misconceptions that you will have in terms of trading. Because you're thinking, oh, I'm going to trade that. Oh, no, you're not. Because, no. Whatever you paid for it, you are going to lose the value of the money, because people are going to be looking for other stuff that they are not looking right now. Right now, you might be thinking, I want to just buy instant food. Yeah. If you're in hard times, anything instant is going to be so expensive that, and it's like, I get one package of instant meal versus, you know, a whole one package of 2 kilos of flour or 2 kilos of grain. With 2 kilos of grain, you can make, you know, let's say 10 meals. So which one do you want? The one that is 1 meal or the one that is 10 meals? See what I mean? So most people will go instant? No, that is too expensive or too unaffordable, not happening. So, you know, there are a lot of things that are, in terms of food, if you want them to do for trading or even storage or even other stuff, you know, like considering how much fuel you're going to spend or how much time you're going to consume doing this, all of these things. Oh, and the taste for your family. Oh, and if you have new family coming over, you know, if they have allergies, if they have a lot of things, that's why I also created the kitchen agenda. You know, all of these things will be explained in there. You know, and you can fill it up and it will be like a family activity, which also ties in with the kids' education thing. So, anyway, this is all I have to say. If you want me to do any other video, let me know, because I'm doing a lot of reproduction list and I have more than 700 videos on the channel. And I'm hoping that whatever information you're looking for is already here. But I'm not God and I'm not, you know, a library, so I might need to do research in terms of getting something new if you need me to do it. So thank you for watching. Stay tuned.